Okay, I'm Aaron Hallett. I write original Christian rock. It is start of New Sounds Day because I just put up 2 albums actually. Whenever I get to a certain point where I just have enough songs, I just post it as an album. And what I do is then kind of tweak my template and change the sounds around and just keep messing with stuff. So I perpetually have like a different sound every time I do that. So the first album was one of the ones where I have all these things where I'm doing the whole video. The instrumental stuff that I do in the afternoon, that's what the second album was. Both of them are kind of still taking their time getting up on the different streaming services, but they are in fact posted as of last night. I was kind of thinking about this. I think I'm going to do almost everything the same, except I'm going to switch back to a bass sound I was using previously. I'm going to put my headphones on just because I dropped down to C sharp and I'm doing it on the computer, so the strings are the same, and the headphones make me hear more of the drop sound than the string sound, which together sounds awful because, you know. Okay, that'll make a verse. Chorus, there we go. It's not that was anything like super amazingly complex, just, you know, I think it'll work. So I am going to do a guitar solo section right now. The next thing I'm going to do is just layer up the chorus part. If that looked strange on the right side, I didn't put the drop tune on, so I just did the first chord an octave higher than I was playing on the rest of the guitars, but that works out because then it just makes it sound bigger. I'm gonna just do the chorus. So now I'm gonna grab my bass, and here's where I'm gonna tweak this from the last batch of songs I was doing. If you have a hoodie and you're swapping guitars, the guitar strap will always sit on top and mix it up. So just make it easier on yourself, put the hood up, and then change guitars. That's why I always do that. Nice. See, then it just lies on top of the strap. Otherwise, the strap goes. All right, so the advantage of this sound versus the clean bass sound I was using is if I put the drop tuner on it, it doesn't really screw it up much. Yeah, so the clean one just kind of gets weird. It's a little farty, but it's not nearly as bad as the clean tone would be with this effect. So I just got that done. I'm going to tweak this a little bit because I feel like the low end is a little overhyped. I like that. I was using the MIDI bass a lot in the last album because like it sounded stupid when I drop tuned it. So this works, and I can actually just play the bass guitar instead of jumping over to this. It'll also sound better when I turn off low latency mode and all that stuff. It kind of limits the processing so it doesn't have latency. That's the name. Sounds like I've got synths there with those clean guitars with lots of echo and stuff going on, obviously. This sound is remaining the same, so I'm not going to change around to a different drum preset. Let me slide over to the drum kit and do all that stuff. I just started putting down lyrics. Did a little bit of a practice thing here that's just going to be... Actually, you know what? Hang on. Put it on a different track. That's just going to be there for reference because I will forget the chorus melody by the time I get done with the verse. I think I'm going to let one progression of the riff go through in the verse and then start singing. So I went right through first and second verse. It's kind of random, but I made it fit because the verse is kind of like it's 2.5 measures, 2.5 measures, 2.5 measures, and it ends up on the downbeat at the chorus. So that's just me warming up. It sounds a little like crap because of that. Okay, so I got to put lyrics down. Give me a second. I just said stuff without my mic input on. I said I was thinking about doing a harmony. I suck at lining harmonies up rhythmically. Note-wise, I'm fine, but rhythmically, it's always... But I might be able to pull it off with this one. These lyrics are going to be copy-pasted to the bottom of my description box. The middle of my description box has where you can find me online, purchase and stream my music. Like I said, I actually just put out 2 albums yesterday, so this sounds like a lot, but I write a song every morning. I do instrumental stuff in the afternoon. I actually do a whole bunch of stock music uploads too, so this isn't even it. But I'm just constantly every day writing. So if you want a lot of stuff to listen to for a long time, on shuffle or something, that's a place to go. The top thing I've got in my description box is a link to the best Bible teaching I know of. I said it's Christian rock right in the beginning, and while I don't really say much about it other than this, that's just there because it's really good on-point objective teaching, and everything else I see around is just subjective teaching where they're piling on some sort of external thing and saying that's what the real deal is when in fact it's not. It's just some tag on. The objective teaching here, it's just translation, grammar from the original languages, text in context, because text out of context is error, so you got to kind of like get the whole bird's eye view of everything and see what's going on. You're going to see 2 teachers. It's the late Dr. Gene Scott, and they just play his reruns essentially, and then Pastor Scott. She's also Dr. Scott. They both had her doctorate, but she goes by Pastor Scott to differentiate. Anyway, it's good teaching. I think it's, really on point, and I just put it there as a resource if you want to check it out. My stuff, subscribe, like, comment, share. You'll keep seeing me because I keep writing music, and that's about it for now. So new stuff, new sound slightly. I really, aside from minor tweaks, just changed the bass guitar tone. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Here comes the song.